During the summer of 2022, PSABH student Alina visited and taught at Vidyodaya Nursery and Primary School in Gudalur, Nilgiris district, Tamil Nadu. She brings to us the stories and histories of children and teachers of Vidyodaya, her experiences and how they help shape her view on education. Hello Alina.
Hello.
Could you tell us a bit about Gudalur?
Yes, of course. So, during the summer, I wished to gain some more experience in teaching, and I was given an opportunity to teach in a school in Gudalur, in the Nilgiri mountains in Tamil Nadu. The school serves a majority of Adivasi students and is in a rural area, which was a new experience for me since I have spent most of my time in largely urban schools, which are either government or private schools. So, the three main Adivasi communities in the area are the Bettakurumba, Katunayakar and the Paniya tribes. I was told that the students speak not only their own mother tongues but also Tamil, the official language of the state, which was also the language that was used in the school. So due to this, I was also a little nervous because even though I spoke Malayalam, which is very similar to Tamil, I was anticipating a language barrier which was a little scary for me. However, I was also extremely excited. Gudalur also has many organizations to work towards the welfare of the several Adivasi communities in the area, such as Accord, the Adivasi Munnetra Sangam, One All, and the Gudalur Adivasi Hospital, which works towards ensuring sensitive and non-discriminatory healthcare. The school I went to was also one such organization.
Speaking of, could you introduce the school you were attached to at Gudalur?
Yeah, so while I was at Gudalur, I was attached to Vidyodaya school, which was started by a couple who we fondly call Rama Auntie and Ramdas uncle. They initially started the school to homeschool their two sons, as they found the schools in the area were lacking in enhancing creativity and curiosity in children. Soon, some parents nearby who were attracted to their educational ideals asked if they could also teach their children. As the number of students under their wing increased, larger spaces were also required to run the operation. And so, Vidyodaya was born. Today, Vidyodaya is a school majorly attended by Adivasi students, who the founders try to cater to as these students face many issues in other schools and institutions. Vidyodaya is a primary school with grades 1 to 5. They are now attempting to expand the school to upper primary and secondary grades as well. The school itself is a very open space with students and teachers sitting on the floor together. The class sizes are very small with 7 to 15 students per class. Now, to jump to an anecdote that I think sums up the warmth in the school, the first day that I visited there, one of the students was sleeping on the teacher's lap, while the teacher herself was smiling and teaching another student how to make a pom-pom.
Amazing. So what was the day like in Vidyodaya for a student there?
So the day starts with an assembly and each day has a different theme to it, and I find that very interesting. So Monday is music day where the students are taught a new song and they all sing together. Tuesday is a show and tell day. On Wednesdays, they are shown videos. These are usually very informative. For example, one day they showed a video of the manufacturing of pencils, which made the children aware of how much work goes into such a small thing. On Thursdays, the students usually share a story or riddles. The children were always excited to share their riddles and guess each other's answers. I learned many new riddles too. Everyone looks forward to Friday the most. On Friday, many songs are played and the children and teachers all come together and dance. They mostly dance to Adivasi songs. When I danced with them, the children patiently taught me all the different ways they dance to the songs. I learned a lot about the different styles of dance within their culture because of their enthusiasm to share their culture with me. And I have seen them share this with multiple other people who have visited the school as well. So the teachers are very innovative and they implement new ideas for the students' benefit. For example, they try to implement a newspaper day to encourage reading and improve the students' Tamil reading skills. So, after assembly, there are 4 periods which are usually academic classes, while they have 40-minute periods for maths, social studies, science, Tamil, and English. After this, they compulsorily have crafts class, after which they go for sports and then disperse. The craft class and sports class is for a long duration of time, so the children do enjoy themselves during that time. So after lunch, they have only craft and sports. Since Gudalur had pretty heavy rains, the students would play indoor games often and their activity time would not be compromised. So they have about 15 to 20 minutes for snacks and around 45 minutes for lunch. They usually go to Kalyani Chechi, who prepares the snacks and gives it to them while they stand in a queue. The students usually get lunch from home, and the snacks that is made in the school by Kalyani Chechi is usually very healthy, like ragi mudde or peanuts or other nutritious food. In schools, they are constantly taught how food is important for the body and how they should eat as much nutritious food as possible. This is also because some of their home situations need such conversations. Some affordable recipes were also shared in class.
What sort of activities did you engage in school?
So I taught the children science on most of the days with the help of our Shanti teacher, who is their science teacher. I also took substitution classes in all the subjects and tried helping out in the library as well. I was also given the opportunity to start experiments in the class, where I could do experiments with the students once or twice a week in the evenings. This especially happened during rainy days where the students couldn't go out to play. During these days, for 15 minutes, the students of grades 4 and 5 would sit with me and we would do some fun science experiments. Some of these were based on some experiment cards that 2 teachers had made before. They had made these experiment cards on many different topics like light, water, etc. The students were so excited for these experiments. They even came up with different ways of testing out the same hypothesis. They would ask me to change up the way I was doing things to see if the results would change.
Wow. It seems like children's curiosity really does not know any bounds.
Yeah.
Now, to talk about the school itself, it seems like Gudalur itself is a very diverse place and the student body of the school is also very diverse. How does the school take into account this diversity?
So, having recently completed the course Language and Education, I was very curious as to how the school supports the students' mother tongue as well as their cultures. In the course, we learned that sometimes the common language that is used is mostly considered as the standard language, which is considered superior to the other so-called minor languages. A teacher I was speaking to said that the songs and dances taught in the assembly are tribal in origin to help carry their cultures forward even in the school spaces. The students are not restricted from speaking their mother tongues to their fellow students or even to the teachers. They also celebrate diverse festivals from both the students' own Adivasi cultures as well as from non-Adivasi cultures as well. The school also has many teachers who are from the different Adivasi communities who help in supporting their language needs. Furthermore, from sitting in on curriculum planning sessions, I could gather that the teachers were very keen on including histories of the various cultures within their lessons.
Does Vidyodaya do any local community engagement?
Oh, a lot. So the school does a lot more than just schoolwork. They also run a hostel system for the students of higher grades so that the students have easier access to go to schools. Furthermore, the students who pass out from Vidyodaya often find it difficult to go to a mainstream school after enjoying the privileges and freedom that they had. From being allowed to sit on the floor and walk in class and having a good bond with the teachers, it was difficult for them to adjust to a culture in a more mainstream school. The teachers from Vidyodaya often go to these schools and talk to the teachers to explain the situation to them and ensure that there is some transition time given for the students. I have myself seen a case where some students ran back from their schools all the way to the hostel because they weren't able to cope in the new environment. The teachers take out the time to have conversations with them and tips on how to deal with the situation. They also constantly arrange games and activities which are educational as well. This helps the students relax, which is also refreshing their previous knowledge. They always look forward to these activities and participate in them so actively. I also got the opportunity to go in a village visit. In some areas in Gudalur, there are volunteers who run activities and a tuition-like center. In these areas, the volunteers are given teacher training and are given ideas on how to plan classes and do activities. When I went for this visit, I could see that some of the volunteers were apprehensive and hesitant to teach. However, after a couple of visits, a change could be seen where the volunteers seemed so much more at ease. Apart from this, village visits are also done by the teachers to talk to the parents and constantly keep in touch with them so that there is a good relationship between the teacher, student, and the parents. After learning about all of this, I was wondering how these teachers can do so much incredible work in so many different fields. The teachers shared with me that none of them have a set work in the school. They all work in all the different types of jobs that they might have, and they're constantly brainstorming on how to become better in these different areas. They really showed me how a lot of dream work and a passion for education and betterment can help in creating a better system for these children.
It seems like Vidyodaya is very connected to its community.
Yeah.
So could you tell us about how Vidyodaya responded to the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown and the school closures that came with it?
So the teachers did a lot of work for this. So during the school closures of the COVID-19 pandemic, the teachers themselves split up and went to the different villages to teach the students. So they journeyed across varying distances. I think the biggest distance was about 15 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, so they would journey so much in a jeep. They would teach a small set of students in that particular village or area, and then they would come back and discuss about it in their meetings. So they would do this much during the pandemic, but after the pandemic also they have done quite a bit of work. So following the reopening of the schools, they noticed that some students in the higher grades were uncomfortable in class due to missing out on the school experience earlier due to the pandemic. So they were used to being only with a small set of children, and they were not used to staying out of their houses in a new area for long periods of time, and that too with a big crowd. So the teachers thought that having the students be a part of lower grade classes would help them acclimatize them to the school, its many people, and the more energetic environment that comes with it.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience, Alina. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
So I just wanted to talk about how incredible this was for me. I have learned so much from this experience, and I could take away a lot of valuable learnings for me as a student teacher. I look back to my experience so fondly, and I am so grateful to have gotten such an opportunity. I am able to apply so much of what I have learned in my days in Gudalur, in what I am learning right now in our classes, and I am able to participate much more in discussions as well due to the things that I have learned. I would like to thank Rama Aunty, Ramdas Uncle, all the teachers, the supporting staff, and the students of Vidyodaya for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.